Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 PS4 review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Need for Speed Rivals. I'll be honest, I'm not a Need for Speed fan. I've literally liked one Need for Speed game and it was the original PS1 release. My brother always buys them every year and I always wonder why, because like with any yearly franchise like FIFA and COD and things like that, I still don't understand why so many people buy them year by year. FIFA is a sort of game that you can probably buy every 2 or 3 years and like get it when the upgrades truly happen. And Call of Duty, well, seeing as still there's like loads of people playing the older ones, there's not even really much need to buy the newer ones anyway. But anyway, people do and he does, and I thought I'd review it just for the hell of it because it's here, because it's another PS4 vid that I can do. One thing I can very quickly mention that you might notice by the reflection of the light bars on the PS4 pads, basically it's there, it's, you know, I'm trying to cover it now. EA seem to be weird, because they seem to be the only people who make Red Player 1. Yeah, it's just weird. Anyway, at the start, I can probably just see that it is just a Need for Speed racer. The reason I don't like this one though, and it's annoying because there's a lot I like about it, but there's that one thing that I've never liked, and I'll get into that very soon. The things that I do like, it's got everything that you really want from a racer. You can have your performance upgrades, you can have car personalization, so this one's an awesome shade of purple, the best colour. That is an opinion, that's fact. I'm sorry, but purple is the best colour, and you've got people out there who argue black v white, literally, and like blue and red and things, but no, purple is the best colour, at least I think so. But I'm pretty much saying it's got some cool personalization stuff that you can do pretty much whatever you want. You can buy your pursuit tech, you can obviously rack up a huge amount of cars, you can upgrade your rank by doing stuff and view how your career is going, of which there's two types, there's a cop and then there's a racer. They both play very much the same because at the end of the day they're both driving games, but obviously when you're the cop you're chasing them, when you're not a cop you're escaping them, and there's tech that you can buy like scanners and EMS jammers, all sorts of stuff like that really, that will either help or, well, help you or hinder them type thing. You've then got things like, you've got a map here which shows you where things are so you can go on races and all that, and speed cameras and speed zones and jumps. But honestly, the main reason that I dislike this game, of which there is quite a bit to like of, and it's probably the best Need for Speed I've played in a very, 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 very long time, is free roam. I've never really liked sandbox games. There are so few sandbox games in the history of the genre that I've ever liked and enjoyed and played. And I've just noticed I'm driving a car with Panda as a license plate, so obviously my brother's done that at some point because that's his online handle. But it doesn't bother me. To be fair, I might have even loaded his file, so that might bother him, but will not say a word to anyone and hope he doesn't notice. Anyway, free roam, my whole point is, and there's going to be a lot of people out there who like it, because I know there's a lot of people who love it and always go on and on about it and saying how amazing it is, but my whole point with free roam on a lot of racing games and that is, I'm about to play a driving game, so I put it in, and then I think, right, I'm going to drive. I want to drive in races. I don't want to drive to the races, I just want to literally put the game on, go into a menu screen, select race 1, race 2, race 3, etc, so on and so forth, whatever you want to say, and beat the race or lose at the race. If I lose, I try again. If I beat, I go on to the next one, and do that throughout the end of the game until I've done every single race, every single other event that there possibly is, I think they call them chase downs when you're playing as a cop car and you're chasing after people. I just want to do all of that and have it be done with. Instead, I have to drive looking around to get to where I want to go. So you could spend 5 minutes driving to an event, and all the time I'm thinking, well, that 5 minutes could be me actually beating an event. So that's why I don't like it, and I don't understand how so many people do like it, because it's almost as if they think, well, I've literally got all the time in the world, it doesn't really matter, I might as well fanny around for 5 or 10 minutes driving to a place rather than just selecting the drive. And that is my own personal preference, and I know it is, and it's why, as much as there's a lot of things about this, I love how the cars handle and the graphics and that, but it's why things like that just do me nothing. It's why, honestly, a lot of the time on games like this, if I am really enjoying it and thinking, well, I'm going to play it, me and my brother will just sit there and take turns, and then while he's driving or driving to races and sections and that and exploring, because he likes that sort of thing. So if for example I've just done my race, I then give him the pad, he could drive around for 20 minutes looking for stuff before doing his race, and then he could drive around looking again before finding another race and going, oh, there you go, there's the pad, have your race. And that wouldn't bother me, because I'll just sit and play on my Vita or my 3DS or something like that, you know. And I'm glad I mentioned Vitas in a bit of a segue there, because remote player is phenomenal on this game. I cannot believe how good it is. It's probably the best title there is for remote player. And you may think, well, hang on a second, the remote player is going to surely make it worse for driving. I mean, the things that we've heard. I don't know if it's my internet connection on certain days or what, but honestly, out of the games that I've played, FIFA has by far been the worst, because it was so laggy and awful, and the controls don't automatically map. For example, I'm using R2 and L2 here to drive and brake. When you go on to remote play with a Vita on this or a shooter, it automatically makes them R1 and L1 even if you didn't choose that, because it knows that you're on a Vita, and that's really cool. So you don't have to touch the back pad to accelerate and brake, you just still use L and R. And so that transition is seamless. I mean, I could actually be driving and have someone on my Vita immediately connect, and I could just drop the pad and the car wouldn't hinder at all, because someone would then be driving on the Vita. It truly is that seamless. It's phenomenal. And then when you're actually playing on it, when we've tried it, it hasn't been laggy, it hasn't glitched, there hasn't been a single problem with it. It's controlled so well, it's unbelievable. My brother actually at one point said, you know what, I think I like this better on the Vita. So that's something that he can then sit and play on his Vita if I don't want to play this and I just want to sit and watch TV or something, you know, or sit and watch a Blu-ray or play on my own game, and maybe the TV might be broken, forbid, you know. That's the sort of thing that the remote play feature, I've always wanted something like that, because it's just, at first you might think it's a novelty, but then it becomes such a necessity, and it's why I'm so glad that every single game I've tried remote play on has worked. It's just been a dev by dev, game by game basis as to how well it's worked. And you'd think, being both a year, that FIFA and Need for Speed would play the same on remote player, but obviously it is different teams. I severely doubt the FIFA team has anything to do with the Need for Speed team and vice versa, but quite frankly I think the Need for Speed team need to go into the FIFA offices for FIFA 15 and tell them and explain to them and show them basically how to work the remote play feature, and go, right, this is what you do, this is how we did it, this is why it was seamless for us, so that way all of their devs can then benefit from it, because the Need for Speed team have most certainly managed to perfect remote player out of what we've played so far. It's just been phenomenal. And it's what I mean by, it's such a shame that I really can't stand free roaming. I mean, here all I've been doing is just been driving around, and I've managed to, I mean, it's all seamless, the things that I've been doing. You might have noticed I joined a race, and that was just because someone drove past me and said, do you want to race? And I just immediately went, yeah, I'll join the race. And I lost because I wasn't particularly paying attention or anything, but as soon as I lost the race, then a cop came onto me, and then I had to escape from the cop, and everything happens real time. There's no delay or anything, which would be the one advantage over the menu, but at the same time I'd rather just be choosing a race, because none of what I've done here is actually my objective or anything. I've got objectives over on the top right corner. The one that I'm currently on here, I've got to get a bronze on any time trial. So I've first of all got to find a time trial, and that's obviously where you've then got to start looking around and start hunting and raking, and it's just, I would much rather choose it in a menu, I really would. So yeah, there's nothing much I can really say about the game other than what I've said. I mean, graphically it is beautiful, you might have noticed it. The effects and things are really cool, and that's what I was doing there. And musically it works well, they've got some decent tunes to it. Loading times are okay, but honestly I can't really think of much else to say about it than, if you like Need for Speed games, it is actually a good Need for Speed game, but if you're not into them like myself, then there's not going to be anything here to convert you. So there we go then, that's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid, or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel, because there's plenty more like this up there,
and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212 signing off.